all of this started from one of the fast money.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first podcast we're going to be doing on this channel, the Hustle Secrets channel. And today we have myself and Reese. Hopefully, soon we're going to be bringing in some new guests to this podcast. Reese, do you have anything to say to everybody?
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. It's a new year, new energy, new vibe. Come on, man. It's time for us to make this money. So, hey, you already know
Absolutely.
we about to actually go ahead and drop a lot of gems. We're about to actually answer a lot of questions coming in from our community. Questions us is people just basically asking. We're just gonna take them one by one and
Yeah.
be able to address them on these type of sections with you guys, and you guys could grab your pen and paper, learn from it. So that's what we're about to do now.
Absolutely. And if you're already part of our community on Facebook, just make sure you post your questions, and that way we can bring those questions to this podcast, and we're going to discuss both. Myself and Reese, we're going to discuss it and give you guys answers to those questions. So today we have 5 questions we'll try to tackle today, and hopefully we get to all 5. If not, we're just going to cut it, and then next week we're going to continue from where we stopped. The first question we have from our community is it too late to start an e-commerce business or an e-commerce brand in 2024? Before we say
Absolutely
yes or
not.
no,
Nah,
okay, you
absolutely
already
not.
jumped in. Go ahead. Why
Absolutely
do you
not.
say why do you say
Why,
not?
why would
Because
people still why would people still think it's too late to start e-commerce brand? Like
I mean,
there's
some people might
always
think it's oversaturated.
what makes them feel like it's oversaturated though?
I guess their feelings, emotions. Hey, if there's something else, type
There
it in
we
the
go.
comments so we can
There
see
we
it.
go. You
Uh-huh.
said it. You said their feelings and their emotions. So it's basically in your mind.
And
They're not.
some kind of, let's say, data too, because people are watching other channels, and they're seeing a lot of people starting
Where are they
businesses
getting the
and
data
talking
from?
about,
Where are those people getting the data from?
hey,
Honestly,
YouTube data, man.
how many how many times have you been
Yeah.
online and you see new brands pop on your feed all the time? How many times? Let's be honest right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like those people that are just basically launching new brands all the time, and even not just only that, if e-commerce is saturated, that means what's going to happen to Amazon? You go to Amazon every day, someone is launching a new product. People that even have products continue to bring in new product. If it's too saturated, you think everybody's going to have the time to do that? You probably not see Amazon stock actually dropping, or you probably not see Jeff Bezos now being the second or the first richest person on the earth. It doesn't make sense. It just have to
I
make
think the
sense. It's
reason
just
why I think I would see why people might feel that way, because sometimes people start their own businesses and their own brands, and they struggle to see results. So the first thing that you people might, and again, I'm just trying to understand why this question came up, and it's probably people feeling like maybe I'm in a business that is already oversaturated, and that's why I'm not getting results. And I believe there might be some truths to this, but for someone who is thinking in that line, let's try to paint the picture for them to understand why we say it's not oversaturated. And from my perspective, based on, let's say, data, if we use the population of people in the world compared to the amount of people who are starting stores, you would see that the ratio is just not too much. It's not in a ratio where you can say, like, oh, there are so many sellers and lesser buyers. And if you look at it from that perspective, you see that there is not necessarily an oversaturation in the e-commerce industry. There's always room for growth because there are more people, billions of people, compared to the, let's say, millions or hundreds of thousands of brands. And the other part of it is maybe a product that people are selling might be oversaturated in the sense that there are too many options out there. But e-commerce in general is not oversaturated. And I don't even know if it's possible for it to be oversaturated, because there's always going to be someone that wants to buy something. What do you have to
like
say for that?
we mostly what you're saying, right? But we most of the time we hear a lot of this saturation. Oh, this brand is saturated. Oh, this niche is saturated. Everybody just basically throwing the word saturation around, not for the right reason. That's just basically an excuse not to start. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I
Mm-hmm.
believe to be. That's an excuse not to start. Because if you feel like it's saturated, man, go to the supermarket. You know how many supermarket is in the area that you live? But each individual supermarket have audiences
It
that
gets
goes in and buy
customers.
products from them. The
Mm-hmm.
craziest part is you walk into the bread aisle, my favorite part. You see how many bread brand. Imagine you starting
Talk to
your
that
brand like
every
you walk
day.
right. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
you starting your brand and you walk on that aisle like, God damn, that's a lot of bread. Nah, it's too saturated. So I'm not. But sometimes you go, everybody have their taste, and some of them may like the other ones. Some of them may like these ones. They all making sales. If those brands is not making sales, you're not gonna see these brands being stocked all the time, over and
Absolutely.
over, years
Mm,
after years, month after month. It's not possible. You
yeah.
just gotta do it, and you're gonna find people who still will come to you and buy from you. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. And that's where a
I,
lot of us just kind of stuck with the mindset of, oh, it's saturated because, oh, I see everybody's doing it. And sometimes you could see it to be saturated, but majority of these people doing it is not doing the right way.
mm-hmm.
You understand what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like
I was
you
about to segue into that, the reasoning why people find that resistance to a market, like when they try to start and they don't get results. Uh, there's a reason behind it. Can you touch on anything you think could be affecting that right now? Why people might start their businesses and then not
and I
see
and I get the
results?
results.
Hmm. Just on
Every
the surface level, because I know we can
right.
drill a lot deeper. What do you
Okay,
think?
now just to give it a surface level, it's lack
Mhm.
of research. I would say that's the number one thing. We get too
And what kind of
excited.
research?
We get too excited to
Hmm.
start a business, not understanding what we getting ourselves into, not
So
understanding the
understanding
niche
the
that we
market
get in,
itself and that industry.
the
Is that what you
industry, the
just said?
niche that we getting ourselves into is very important, right? It
Mm.
could be a product I'm very passionate about, but have I done any research on that product to see if it's anybody in the market that is basically selling it? How are those people doing it? When what kind of angle they're going with, right? So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time we kind of focus on, oh, I have the money, I want to start a business. But that's what happened to me with my initial point, right? Because I had the
Yeah.
money. But sometimes the time investment to really understand the market is the most important thing, right?
Yep.
So being, invested in time to be able to understand the market, what product is selling, all of these things, the little techniques, the little things that we probably overseas are the things that drive us, and we always put our energy and focus into creating a product. If I
Yeah.
don't know what my customers want, how am I going to create a product to solve their problems?
Absolutely.
You understand what I
Absolutely.
mean? If I don't
Hmm.
know the kind of nation or the type of product I'm selling, if I don't know how my customers is going to gravitate towards it, on understanding, the customers, behaviors and all of these, using other
Yep.
people brand to actually understand and know what angle to go. What do I do? What are the things that other people are saying about this brand? Okay, is this something that if I bring my product is going to be related to? How do I go and look at their reviews and other things, other, using other pillars to basically identify and know that the product I'm bringing up is going to solve the problem and not have the same problem my other competition is having. Just of
Hmm.
me just investing the time into that will actually give me much better advantage over my competition, and also start it like on a better ground as compared to me starting and trying to figure it out.
Absolutely. And you said something very important. I always got my notes. Even when we talk, we were revisiting so many things. So I encourage anyone watching this, guys, take notes and write these things down. You're going to learn a lot. And uh, a lot of times people forget that we are in business for the customer. I can't remember who said this first, but ever since I heard it, I've always tried to, preach this to, like, when I get on a call with one of our clients or students or something like that. I
You
always
know,
tell them, listen, you are in business for the customer. So, like you were saying, if we're not taking time to figure out what that customer needs, either we're solving a problem or, as I love to say, adding value of some sort to the customer. If you're not taking time to figure that out, then you're in business for yourself. Now, if you have a business though, where you are the customer, you yourself, you're going to be buying every day from yourself, your store, then be my guest. Don't do any research and just start whatever you want to sell and sell it however you want, present it however you want. But if you are in business and you want to attract customers, people, then it's your duty to go figure out what people, not you, what people want. What do they need? And when you solve that need, then you can differentiate yourself from all the other people in the market and stop complaining about oversaturation.
I'm telling you, listen to your customers, and it's so crazy. I was reading this book yesterday. I was yesterday or 2 days ago. Shut up and listen, and he talks about all business. And this is a man that actually owned a chain of restaurant, actually owned a basketball team, and he's saying we all in a hospitality business. It doesn't matter if you're
People
doing
business.
e-commerce. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if you're doing hotels. It doesn't matter if you're doing restaurant. It doesn't
Software,
matter. And why
whatever.
is he saying we hospitality? Because we catering to people. Our customers' comfort. What the customers want is what we cater to them. So we always in something that he call hospitality business. And that's one of the most important thing. Most of our brands that we've been able to create and make most money of, or even shape the product to a certain angle to make it much even related to the customers or solve the problem the customer is looking for, didn't come from us. It came from the customer. So we listen to
Hmm.
what the customers is saying or what the customers is asking, and we able to cater to those people because they have the demand, and all we have to do is to fulfill the demand for the customer. You understand what I mean? And that's a lot of things that people don't do. And this doesn't cost you some, you have to probably lose a lot of them, but you taking the time out to understand and researching other businesses, not just knowing what your bestseller is. That's what everybody go for. But what
Hmm.
are the little things that keeps your business afloat? What are little things that got your business, got people talking about a business? These are the things that we're looking for. These are the
Yeah.
things the customers is willing to pay money for, right? So if I'm
Yep.
able to invest the time into this, then I have like a
An
disadvantage
advantage, leverage.
over leverage over
Hmm.
anybody that is in the competition with me, or even the people in the competition. They probably just did a research for themselves. Now I could do a research for 5 to 10 or 15 stores, and I could come out with a common thing that I see within all those stores, and that is already proven to be something that I could now take and fuse into my business. And guess what? Boom,
Yeah.
off the
Uh,
jump, I'm already starting to make sales. I'm already attracting some of those customers that is basically buying the same customer that is going to buy Colgate, the same customer is going to buy Crest toothpaste. You understand what I mean? But someone will say, "Hey, I love
I
Crest
prefer
toothpaste."
Colgate instead of.
Yeah, someone will say, "I love Colgate." At the end of the day, they do the same thing. So, what is the saturation in this?
Oh, someone is going to say that there's fluoride in it. So conspiracy theory. The government is using the.
That's the person
I,
making. That's the
hey,
person making.
I
Hey,
neither
I'm
confirm nor
already.
deny.
That's
I'm
the
just saying.
person basically making making excuses not to start. Like
Hey,
sometimes we human beings, sometimes we start of coming, giving us like so many excuses. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, I'm gonna do it. No, just
yeah,
do it. Take the
just
time out. And it becomes too expensive. And a lot of
yeah.
people quit because inadequate of them basically investing time into themselves to understand what they're about to get into. We get
Okay,
so pumped, we get so excited to start and
yeah.
forget to do all those things. Then when we start and things is not going well, then
Hmm.
that's when we take the time out. Damn, it wasn't that easy. That's when we try to take the time out to go in and try to figure these things out. But our
Now,
excitement overshadows certain things.
now this is where we want to like let's narrow this down a little bit. I have other questions though that we pulled from the community, but I think this is going to add so much value. Um, So someone could say, okay, Reese, okay, Spin, I hear you. No niche is oversaturated. But what about products? Are products oversaturated? So what's your response to that?
Product saturation
Mm-hmm.
is the same as you saying every niche is saturated.
Let's go. Yep. I actually heard this.
I could listen.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up. Yeah.
You could have the same product. I could have the same product. The next person could have the same product. But guess what? We could kind of present the product in all three different ways, and my
Yeah.
presentation may be able to attract more people
The
than yours.
angles. The
You understand
angles
what I
is
mean?
everything.
My
Absolutely.
messaging towards the product may be different from yours. Yours may be gravitating towards the customers more because you've done your product research and you know what angle I could go with this product to actually relate the products to the customers to buy from. My angle may be different, and you could you'll be amazed. It could be the same product, but we could sell in three different angles that still yield sales for
Absolutely.
individual all three of us. You understand what I mean? It's
Yep.
just a messaging and how you communicate the products to your customers. It doesn't have to be. It could be the same product.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it
Mm-hmm.
could be the same damn product, but guess what? Our messaging could be a little bit
It's
different.
different. Yep.
Remember, we sold this product that was a facial steamer, and we sold the same product as a COVID
The hand
19
sanitizer touchless.
hand sanitizer
Yeah.
dispenser.
Mm-hmm.
Same product. But look at how we kind of the message that we use,
Pivot.
how
Yes.
we communicate the product with other audiences. That's the most important thing, honestly. It's nothing too crazy. It's just you have to be creative on knowing how to communicate the products to your audiences. You understand what I mean? And that's what your audience is going to take it for. Like,
Absolutely.
as simple as that. But we kind of complicate things to a point that we overthink, and now it kind of don't want us to move forward, and we
The
now creating
analysis
so many.
paralysis, basically.
There we go. We
Yeah.
creating so many things in our mind. Like, oh, this is not working. This is
Yeah.
too saturated. Oh, everybody's selling it, and this and that, and all of that. Miss, no, sir,
Yeah.
no.
I would say that
Stop
moderation is the key
overthinking.
thing for anyone who is like in any phase here. Like you're trying to figure out the research and you're also trying to be a go-getter and get moving. Moderation is the key thing because you don't want to just dive in head first without any research, but you also don't want to research too much and then you don't take action. But it has to be a perfect balance of you taking action, but also with the right call it information or the right decision or the right research. Like do some sort of research before you take action and then those now you're making an educated guess because nothing is guaranteed in this business in e-commerce. You can have a product,
Wait,
it's not
wait.
guaranteed to sell, but the
One,
more research you have, the better decisions you can make based on
one.
what you know about your customers.
Most important, one thing at a time. That's what I remember you having to do so much and trying to understand and know everything before you move forward is one of the mistakes that you could do. So one thing at a time. Okay, how do the kind of products I'm about to sell? First, I already have my product. Number one. So one thing at a time. How do I communicate? How do I present the product? That would be the first thing that you would need in your business in terms of description, in terms of the presentation, all of this. So my first product research or my first market research is going to be based on that. Now, once I'm able to now understand, I'll execute on everything I've learned from that first. Now, okay, now I have the product. How do I communicate the product with my audiences? So now I'm going on the next one because I already have the first one done. So the second one, I'm actually going to know how I'm able to now mercy. How do I message or how do I craft my message or how do I communicate the products to the audiences for them to gravitate towards it? Now I'm going to execute that. Number two, okay. Number three, what do I need? Okay, how do I market this product? Now I have the message. How do I market this product? So now, what angle are these people within a niche is basically using to market their product? So now I could take that right there in particular and just now fuse all three of them together one at a time. First product done. First communicating the language or how am I going to communicate the products to the audiences. Now I'm done. Okay, how do I market the product? These are the three things that I'll go. I'm not going to do too much. Less is
Yeah, yeah.
better. Straight to the point. That's what I'm going for. If
Before
I'm
we
starting
do
new,
yeah, before we just say like product done, because someone might be a total newbie and they don't know what to do even to pick the product, and some people might. I think this is a good segue into the next question, which is like, what are the best niches or the best the best verticals to get into? So when you said product done, if you were starting new, how do you pick this product? So we talked about value, we talked about adding value to people or solving some kind of problem. Other than that, what would someone use as a criteria to actually choose the direction to go with your business? If someone is blank right now, just like I don't know what to do,
I want to
what would
start
you
a
tell them?
business. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, most important equity is time investment. One, you have to research a couple of these brands. I started my first business go knowing what I was doing, but I was doing it wrong. My second business that actually did over 1 million in 3 months, honestly, came out of me not knowing what to do, but I did a research. There's so many tools that you could basically use to do product research. If I'm in the market and I'm seeing I don't did maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month of product research, and I keep seeing these products coming up over and over and over, and looking at using out these tools, looking at the matrices, looking at these comments, going to these people website, looking at the reviews, looking at the comments. Some tools will even give you a point of you tracking what product is selling for them, using their social media. You kind of balancing everything out. All these things, all these pillars that you need to put in place to know what product is selling will automatically. We here to make money. We're not here to recreate something. If you have a product, you know for sure your messaging and everything, your presentation will gravitate towards the customers. Absolutely. But first, you have to take your time to research all these niche to see what is. You could see a pattern of products that's basically repeating themselves over and over and over and over again. Once you see those, repeated products, you know for sure this the niche that I want to go for. It could be hair, it could be clothing, it could be whatever, right? Even like knowing having to select a niche doesn't have to be unless I'm coming. Okay, listen, I already know I want to go into the hair products or clothing products or whatever the case. You're already coming in with a passion. I always like people to start with a passion, especially when they're coming in. That will help them to actually narrow it down. Because if you want to research every niche, it's going to take you a long time. So you could select something. Hey, I'm more passionate about clothing. I'm more passionate about jewelry. I'm more passionate about personal care, shoes, decor, and all of these things. Right now, how do I pick one of them and now go deeper into research for that particular niche to see what I could be able to get, what product people actually gravitate towards to, what angles are people communicating our product, how are people presenting our product within that specific niche of something that I love. So you never feel like I'm working, but I'm doing the right thing to be able to make more sales with it. Be
Yeah.
able to now get people to buy whatever I bring in, not because I love fashion. I'm just going to use myself as an sell a product I like, but I'm going to do the research to find out what within a niche people actually gravitate towards too. Then I'll go in that angle.
If I were to advise someone who is like trying to start pick a product or pick a dish, the first thing like you talked about is the passion or what are your strengths. That's it. I want to simplify it to simple two questions. So what are you good at, and what in by answering that question, you will be able to figure out where can I add value to the market. I love uh, taking it into a question or like looking at it from the lens of value, adding value to people. Because the value could be you're eliminating pain or you're adding pleasure to people. So, what are your strengths? Your passion is going to help you stay in business or go through the hard times. But that is not necessarily an indication that that is the niche that will make you money. And then, secondly, you want to now ask that question: how can I add value to people? If you let's say you choose to do something in the hair industry because you're passionate about hair, then how can you add value to people? Something different. What's your angle? Or what is the same thing that people are doing that you can do better? Now you're adding value to people. And make it something like where you can see it. Like if I ask you the question, what value are you adding to your customers, and you can't answer that question, then your customers are going to find it difficult to answer that question too, because you're not going to be able to communicate that thing to your customers if you don't know what the value you're adding is. So I think that's the beginning place. If someone were to ask me, approach me right now and say, "Hey, I don't know what to do or what to sell," I want to know your strengths, because that makes it easier for you to burn the late night candles, to go through the hard times that people don't talk about. A lot of people get it easy, but 99% of the time you have to try over and over again to figure it out. And if you find your traction the first time you try, yeah, then thanks be to God. But the reality is that a lot of times it takes multiple tries for you to actually understand your lane
Yep.
in whatever niche that you're
Yep.
going to.
Yep. And under the passion comes with layers. You understand what I mean? And you use what am I good at? So you could
Mm,
kind of connect that to it. So the layers that comes with it is okay. What am I passionate about? What is something that is fun for me? I always see
percent.
myself doing. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is what I love. Okay, I love cooking. Okay, now if I want to be in a cooking niche, okay, what now? Now it's time for me to go research what are the things that brings money within our niche. What are the things
Yep.
that people is doing? So at this point, I'm not just saying, oh, because I love to cook, I'm just gonna go cook and make money. It could be
Hmm.
me just writing. I don't have to cook. By me writing like a cookbook is what is gonna bring me the money. But I'm so because I'm more passionate about the cooking, I'm just still cooking, 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 and I'm
Absolutely.
not bringing in no sales, no money because I don't have nothing to offer to my audiences to sell to them. But here I
Yeah. Hmm.
come if I bring in a cookbook. Here
Now
I
you're
come
adding
if I
value.
bring in a tool of
Hmm.
cooking tool. Here I come if I bring something. But how will I know that? By researching within the
Hmm.
cooking niche alone to see what brings money and what other people is doing to generate income. And I could not take that and fuse in. I could not look at the method, how they're going about it, and I could take that to just bring in. If I want to do, if I'm into doing hair, doesn't mean I have to, or if I'm passionate about hair, doesn't mean I have to always braid hair or do hair. It
Hmm.
could be me looking at research, okay, I'm passionate about hair, but anything related to hair, I want it. It could
Hmm.
be now me taking the time out to go in and just basically understanding how I could now know, okay, this tool is now something that's coming out. I could use this tool and I could promote it with the kind of techniques that I have. Using the hair on some of the client, I could make more creatives to be actually be able to communicate the products to my audiences to buy. So it's so many things under each
Yep.
individual niche. If we're supposed to talk about it, a niche alone could get a whole day or even a whole year topic to
Yeah.
communicate about. But it's
And
just
just
about go ahead.
yeah, top level things to help people, pick and make that decision. Another thing that came while you were speaking is, if you find a gap in a market, then that screams opportunity. If you find a problem, let's say that chefs are struggling with because they always cut themselves, and you come up with a product that solves that. Now that's a way you're adding value to people. But how would you know that? By research,
By research.
knowing
It's not,
that
yep,
people
it's not
are
gonna
looking
come to
for.
you
Hmm.
overnight. By research is where you're gonna get all those tools to actually maximize on. Like
Hmm.
niches, like if we talk about niche in general, there's so many that we could talk about. There's some niche you probably never heard of. But look at this. This is what I was, Black Friday kind of came out with Shopify. Every year they kind of give you the top niches that has actually
Yeah.
brought in the most sales revenue and all of that. And you won't believe these top niches. I'll give you the first four of them. Clothing was number one. Personal care was number two. Jewelry was number three, and shoes was number four, and decor was number five.
Hmm.
They brought in the most sales, most customers on Black Friday alone. And you're probably not thinking decor. You're probably not thinking shoes. You're probably not thinking jewelry. You're probably thinking personal care. You're probably not thinking clothing. Other niches makes money. But if I'm starting and I'm passionate about clothing and I know clothing is one on the top of Black Friday, that's what most people spend most money on. Hell yeah. My passion comes to life. You understand
Yeah.
what? If I'm into personal care, which could be hair care, which could be facial, which could be whatever related to our personal need,
Yeah.
caring for
And
ourselves.
I would say people should also be wary only of just the revenue, because you need to understand that market. If you choose a niche, you need to live and breathe it. You need to understand what goes into it, because that's the only way you'll be able to play the game. In that,
How will you be able to take advantage of the market if you
if
don't
you don't know.
understand what you're doing?
Yep. Because the reason why I wanted to mention that is that a lot of times people will just hear that, oh, clothing made the most money on Black Friday. we, Hey, we plant our cross here. That's it. So just be wary of that. We have other questions to get to, so let's move a little bit. Um, the I wouldn't call it the elephant in the room, but everybody want to hear about drop shipping. Say, can I drop ship? Is drop shipping dead? That's like the new buzzword, and you probably see a lot of marketers saying, "Man, drop shipping is dead. This is a new thing." What's your take on that? And yeah, we can discuss that.
Dropshipping, dropshipping could never die.
Yeah.
Drop shipping can never die. Sony dropship PlayStations.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? It's just how people do it. That's where the problem is. But you saying dropshipping to before dropshipping became popular, a lot of companies been dropshipping, but we didn't know there was dropshipping it. You understand what I mean? So it's just a matter of individuals and how we kind of put things together. We came from a drop shipping background. And I would never stand anywhere and tell it, oh, drop shipping is dead. Nobody's drop shipping no more. Here we go. We have friends and even some of the brands is just doing millions of dollars drop shipping. But are you doing it the right way? That's the problem. A lot of
Yeah.
people is not doing it the right way. There's money in drop shipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, what we all started drop shipping in China. We buy China. We don't care about the product. Not that we don't
Wait,
care.
14 days,
You
15,
know, we don't
21
take
days to get
time.
the
We
product
don't
there.
invest enough. To see, that's what very important. We don't invest time into the product to make the product better. We don't invest time into crafting the product to actually sustain it, make the customers want more of the product. We saw in the fast lane, like, hey, this product is not doing it. Let me move on to the next product. But now I could still drop ship and build a brand around it, and even possible be able to now buy some of this inventory upfront to the United States, take it to a fulfillment center, and still drop ship it and make a lot of money without having to deal with China. What actually killed drop shipping was the shipping time. And there's people that's all going to be shady, and some of these people just run stores and not actually fulfill the inventory or fulfill the
Mm-hmm.
orders, right? But if you're really doing it the right way, making sure your shipping time is on point, having customer services on point, having product checks on point, making sure you have a good product that customers get they want, what they actually paying for to get what they looking for. The most important thing is fulfillment. A lot of drop shippers, when we first started, we didn't know all of this. It took us time for it to actually go through a lot of
Yep.
phases, having
Learning
to
curve, for
understand
sure.
how to do it properly, to be able to scale, to be able to even have a brand that we could actually exit out of. All of this started from one of the fast money.
Yep. And
But if
I believe that's where a lot of people are
yes,
struggling and are being
perfect.
taken advantage of, in the sense that people will sell you the dream of the low barrier of entry for you to drop ship, and then you find yourself selling the same product as 200,000 other people in the world, selling the same product from the same spy tools that everyone else is paying the same 49, $50 or
And
whatever
and
for.
and and, and even selling the same product, if you took the little time out
Extra effort to.
to
Hmm.
effort to get your
Yeah,
own creative, to build a better landing page. Not only that, have a better price and fulfillment is the most important thing. The quality of the product, even to a point of rebranding the products into it could be the same product, but
exactly.
the branding could sell even better than the other people. You understand
Yeah,
what I
funny,
mean? But
funny you
these are the
said
things.
that, because I just remembered something. One of the products, like from my dropshipping stores, that I scaled hard was actually something that everybody else was selling for $14, and I resold it for $50 and rewrote the landing page, changed the name, so everyone keeps selling it at the same thing. I changed the angle and actually priced it higher, and people bought mine. My product became the original, and everybody else was selling the counterfeit at $14. It was crazy. I couldn't even believe it. I sold something everyone
Listen,
was selling before for
listen.
$50, and everybody else sold it for $14, and I made a
I'm
whole lot
telling
of money
you,
with it.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
your
the power of
presentation,
branding.
your presentation speak value if you don't know it. Now, there's a study that there was this cookie company was trying to find a product to know which one they should price at a certain price. And one of the people on the board actually said, you know what? How about we take the same product, we brand them different, same taste and everything, and let's see. Try put one on a higher price, one on a lower price. The one with a good branding on a higher price, but inside it is the same taste,
Exact
everything.
cookie.
And let's see which one people is gonna gravitate towards to. Everybody based on it's mental. The moment they see the brand and everything, it tastes different than the other one that is lowly branded, and they
Yep.
would charge you more for that just because of that. Three times what it was charging for the other one low branded, right? And
Yeah.
everybody that was coming wasn't buying the low one. They wanted the best quality, which was the other one that they felt like was branded properly, but it's the same product.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Same
So
thing as the Payless, the Payless
the Payless.
that they
There
did
we
with
go.
Paylessy.
Payless. If you guys
And
haven't seen it, guys,
yeah,
watch this. The Payless have like a little video on YouTube when
yeah.
we kind of took Payless, now made it like a high, high
So
fashion
yeah,
brand.
they called it Paylessy, made it to sound very Italian, and
There
then
we
they
go.
invited the same, I call them the fashion snobs or whatever, and brought them into this well decorated showroom. And the same shoes that were being sold for $20, they marked it up to 200, $600, and
No,
people were
fifteen
saying
fifteen hundred
fifteen
dollars.
hundred plus. Like they marked it up like different products, different
Yeah,
price ranges, and people were buying it and talking about how good and how they like the concept, the same damn concept that they put for $20. So
$20.
that's the
So,
power of branding and
buying is
perception.
psychological.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's just the people see what they see
yeah.
is what they pay for. You understand what
What
I
they
mean?
perceive.
And I'm
Hmm.
telling you, drop shipping is still popping. Drop shipping is still hot,
Yeah,
but it's just a matter of you doing the right way.
the right
It
way and
just matter
having
of
this.
not just looking for fast money. Like, oh, all you have to
Mhm.
do is to pick a product and no, those days is over,
Yeah,
man.
I
And
want to add before you even say one more thing that dropshipping is literally a method of fulfillment. That's it. You are
there we
just
go.
being someone, being a middleman, taking from the supplier straight to the customer. That's what dropshipping is without keeping inventory. It still does not change anything about you giving valuable products to people. It's just the method of fulfillment. So putting that system in place is where the tire hits the road, the rubber meets the road. Can you do it right in a way that people still get that same value, get the same kind of service, like an A plus 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 service, and get the products on time? In this day and age that we have Amazon Prime, people want to just place an order and get it from the computer. They can't wait 14 days. Like back in 2014, 2016, when we started our dropshipping stores, you could probably get away with 21 days shipping and keep people on the run around. But hey, you can't do that anymore. You gotta put in some work in
People
giving that their
don't have the
service.
patience. If they spending the money, Amazon, Walmart, all these companies don't make this very hard. And not even forget about the big companies, even individuals. If you have a brand and you're not fulfilling, you actually getting penalized. Facebook is
Yeah.
penalizing you for not fulfilling orders fast.
Mm-hmm.
Shopify is penalizing you from not fulfilling orders fast. You why? Because you're gonna lose your merchant account. PayPal is penalizing you from not shipping orders people fast because
That's
they
right.
want to keep their customers, right? So if you are a brand and you're not fulfilling us fast or getting these people products to them and they're doing chargebacks and you losing PayPal, you losing your merchant account, you losing
It's costing you
Facebook,
money.
you losing
Money.
it's not just only it's a lot of things that comes in play. So for me to
Yeah.
go through all these struggles and all these frustrations and stress about dealing with customers long term, and, taking forever for them to get their product, I'd rather do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I test a product right now, I could probably sell maybe 10 or 20 product, maybe drop ship those product from Amazon, maybe possibly break even or lose a little bit. But if I know the product have the potential, I could now put some money up front. It doesn't have to be big capital, a little bit to get enough inventory to get the profit. Now, if it still continue to sell for me, now I know the product is doing good. I could call it drop shipping. But now I have a way to be able to fulfill and get these products to the customers as fast as possible. All right, 2 to 3, 4, 5 business days, as compared to so. You know what? The funny thing, the supplier will tell you, "Hey, we could ship between 8 days to you," but as soon as the product is shipped, it may take even a little longer than that.
16 days,
You understand?
21 days.
And this is
Yeah.
the lot of this the problem most of the people is making, especially newbies that come into dropship. They'll go on AliExpress. They don't have a supplier. All right.
Yeah.
So they'll go on AliExpress. Everybody's teaching them, all you need to do is to go on AliExpress, buy the product, and ship it to the customer's house. One, they're not communicating with the person they're buying the product for. Two, they're not picking the right shipping form, which one they want to go for. if they want to go Yangwei Express, if they want to go with,
Express
what's
and all of
his
that.
name,
Yeah.
going to
Yun,
DHL,
FedEx. Yeah.
FedEx, all of these things, right? They don't know none of that. You understand what I mean? So they automatically going in and doing China Post. And China Post,
30 days.
it takes about
20 days.
14 to 30 days to get to the customer. And the customer done lost it already. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? So it's
That's right.
just the technical part. Dropshipping still work, but you have
Yeah.
to do it the
You have to
right
do it
way.
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I could still fulfill. If you could fulfill, like I remember a point, like we had this product was doing so good that we was actually fulfilling from the United States using our leveraging platform like eBay. Using leveraging platforms, other platforms that we was doing.
Yeah. Can you
To
can you
actually
explain why we used eBay? Because that's a very technical thing with the pricing. So go ahead. Why do we use eBay?
So if why we use the eBay was to just basically get the products to the customers faster. That was the most important
Mhm.
thing.
And the difference, it happened to be that someone had that stock in the States and they weren't charging so much of a difference
One,
compared to
you
getting it
look
from
at
China.
pricing. The
Yeah.
pricing that you're seeing on eBay is cheaper. So if I'm selling that same pricing 2x or 3x on my website, it's good
Hmm.
for me instead of me going to China and the product's already stocked
Here
in
in the States.
California, right?
Hmm.
It's just a matter of me just being able to communicate with those suppliers through eBay and be able to now be like, you know what, can you fulfill? And sometime to a point that we're actually getting those people to even lower the price that they had on eBay to even bring it down for us to even fulfill from. So we send them a list of orders. We kind of
Yeah.
export it out, send a spreadsheet to them. They'll fulfill it, send it back to us. Or it got to a point like they will send
Yeah.
it back to us. We kind of upload everything in our system. We had our VA doing it, and boom, same product 3 days to the customer's house.
Yeah. Actually,
Three days as
one of my
compared to
yeah, I was gonna say one of I remember when I for one of my own stores I found one of the suppliers from eBay, Kenny. He's from I don't know which country, but he's Asian, and he had a whole warehouse in Nevada. And I was like, whoa, you have this product here, and a lot of times people forget that your suppliers make money when you make money. So the moment you start pumping out orders a lot, go back to the negotiation table and ask for a better rate, and they're gonna drop the price. Trust me, because they want to keep the business. And then maybe in the next podcast we can talk about the negotiation process, how you can get cheaper rates. Because I don't want us to segue into something different. So, but find suppliers in the states. There are many platforms. I know there's like AutoDS, there's CJ Dropshipping, and all of that. But it's not as great, in my opinion, to when you have someone you know. Hey, this listen, Kenny is here. His warehouse is in New York. It's in California. I have my things here. I feel more confident because if something happens to the inventory coming that I'm hoping is going to get
and,
to the
and,
customer in six to
and,
seven
and
days,
I think
it's
that was
game
the
over.
I think that was
Yeah.
having those everybody was doing drop shipping, and the only platform that majority of the people was using was Obelo at the time.
Oh,
Remember?
back then before brother got taken.
Right.
Yeah,
You
already.
connect
Yeah.
this what's his name? You connect the product from AliExpress, and I
Yeah.
said it will automatically do all that for you. And it was lacking the communication between the owner, the store owner,
Customer.
and the
Yeah.
supplier, and that's where a lot of delays was happening. I think it could be the reason why Shopify actually took that out.
Took down Oberlo because it was just enabling more bad behavior.
Yes, yes, yeah. Because
It's- it was the
yeah,
gateway drug, and
yeah.
everyone just
Yeah,
sells and then
I think it has
forgets
to
about
be.
the
I think
fulfillment.
like now
Yeah,
I think it possibly
that was why.
I'm not 100% sure,
Maybe.
but
Yeah.
maybe the reason why because people was just misusing this and taking advantage of it. Like crazy.
Oh Lord.
Like it was like nobody was doing no good work. Everybody was just going and just
Find
connecting
a product,
orders,
add it, make
find a
some
product.
money, and then
Yeah,
customer gets the short end of the stick. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Bad business. And always remember, I want us to kind of wrap it up because we're already way at our max time for the today's call. Maybe next the other questions we have here, we're just going to address them in the next podcast. So if you got value, make sure you leave some comments here in the comment section here on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching this replay. And next week, tune in, same time, same place, and we're going to answer your questions and also ask your questions in the comments. and our team will be reviewing those questions, and it could be part of the questions we address on the next podcast. And don't forget to tag and share with somebody so they can get value as well. We have a lot to talk about, and we have a lot to address. Reese, do you have any final words for people, anyone who is listening to us?
Um, I always say this: we come here to share all this information, using our experience to educate you, so that you don't make the same mistakes that we did starting our own businesses, and being able to use the same method to help other people to grow their businesses. We kind of, last year alone, we had over 13 people that have crossed over $1 million using the same method that we use. Individuals, not one person. 13 different people has been able to make over $1 million using the
Your
same,
business.
you know, in their business, using the same method and techniques that we use to grow our businesses, to help them to avoid the mistakes that we did. That's the most important thing, right? So
Absolutely.
if we come here to share all this information, it's just a matter of you just using them to avoid all these mistakes, because these mistakes is not cheap. Mistakes cost a lot
This
of
is
money.
going to cost you. Yeah.
Costs a
And
lot of money,
yep,
right? So to avoid
yep,
all
yep.
those mistakes and save more money in your pocket, take advantage of the information that we provide, and do us justice, man. If you love this information that we dropping, which we're going to continue to bring more and more and more, go ahead and subscribe, comment.
That's right.
All right, you comment your questions, anything that you have. Click the bell so that whenever we post something,
Yep.
you will be able to actually get the notification that we have something new, and you could follow along. If you have any extra questions, you have our social media handles. You could always reach out.
Follow
You
us.
could actually join the House of Secret. Follow us on Instagram, following us on TikTok, follow us
Facebook.
on all
Yep.
platforms,
Get
Facebook.
in the community too. We have a
Right.
Facebook group with over 5,000 people where we'll
All
be
right,
helping people build their business for sure.
perfect.
Get
Get
whatever
into the
help you need.
community,
That's right.
get into the community, and get the help they're looking for. And we're looking forward to see you, have you one of our millionaire students too. All right,
Let's
so let's
go.
go.
That's
And
right.
yeah.
Yes. All right, my people. Same time next week. See ya. God bless.